You're listening to Turi Writer's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. Marcy's adult children are coming. My adult children are here. And when you face what you've created, sometimes it is literally a sticky mess. So you have kids coming.
Yes, I'm really excited.
It is
I have my fingers crossed that they get here. We're having 50-mile-an-hour winds. So I told them to go around the mountain instead of coming straight up to 7,000 feet. So it'll take them a while even going around it. But yeah, they're coming to meet the baby. And I'm excited. And to meet Belly, the dog. They haven't met her yet either.
I don't think I would make a trip across the country to meet somebody's dog. I'm impressed.
Well, you don't know my family.
I know. I mean, I love my dog, but I don't know. I mean, if the small cutie adopted a dog, I'd be excited to meet him or her when I arrived. But I can't imagine saying, oh, great, I'll buy a plane ticket and fly right in.
Well, they're coming to see the baby.
Yeah, that would be one, yeah.
I mean, I send the 3 older siblings that don't live nearby, I send them pictures every day. So
of the baby or the dog?
Yeah.
The baby. Oh,
well,
good.
both. Sometimes both. Sometimes like double headshots.
Ooh.
Because they both have really big heads for some reason. I didn't say that. Okay, we're going to erase that part.
No, we're not.
I'm going to tell you how awful the last 2 days have been.
Okay, let's hear it.
So yesterday was, it started out with thunder. Then we had thunder rain. Then we had thunder snow. Then we had thunder hail. Then it was thunder snow again. And that was from like 7 o'clock yesterday morning all the way up to last night.
Ooh.
But in the morning at like 8 o'clock, I decided, okay, I'm going to run out and take care of the goats before it gets any worse. And so, like a moron.
Make that as a moron?
Like a moron.
Okay.
I didn't put my goat boots on. And I was wearing like my slidey slippers.
Oh, not again.
So I'm almost done, right? I refill all their waters. I carried out their hay in a little bucket. I was very careful. Then I went and got their feed. And coming back, Eve came out to see if I needed help. She had just come over. And I said, no, I'm okay. And just as I said that, one of my slippers got caught on a rock. And I went flying, like literally up in the air flying.
You know, the horrible part of this is that no one is surprised anymore. You do more flying than Superman.
I should have a cape. Or wings at least.
Yeah. Water wings, maybe, so you have something to land on. We should get you water wings.
Well, this time, though, I landed on my left side. But yes, every bone in my body is just like everything hurts. And now I have matching bruises on each side of my butt from when I fell last week.
Fantastic.
Yesterday.
Fantastic. Can I just ask, how far away from the door are your mud boots?
They're right next to the bowl.
Uh-huh.
They're right at the slider to the backpack to the goats.
And what possessed you to just go, it's muddy, it's wet, it's slimy, but I think I'm going to wear my little plastic Nike slides because what exactly? Had you just had a pedicure up there? You didn't want to mess it up?
I overestimate my grace and coordination.
After how many years? 60 something years? Nobody's clean.
Yeah, almost 70 something.
Oh my God.
But yes, today I'm dying. Oh. And then here's part 2.
Yeah.
All day, everything has been really quiet. Like my phone hasn't made any noises. So the volume is all the way up, and I kept turning it on and turning it off. And I saw that you called me. I saw that the kids called me from down in the valley. 4 spam calls.
But nothing ringing.
No, nothing. Nothing's working. And I said, I could not figure it out. I said, okay, it's not connected to the car. It's not connected to my hearing aids.
Oh, we had that one, I remember.
Yeah, well, it turns out that, my hearing aids that I forgot to plug in last night, so they're dead anyway. still, for some reason, the Bluetooth was going into the dead hearing aids.
Oh,
Yes, everything has been going into my hearing aids except for my hearing all day.
how come you're not wearing your hearing aids? You don't want to hear your own scream of pain when you fly
It
over
didn't
the mud
charge.
and land on? Is that what it is? You don't want to hear
No,
yourself, or?
they didn't charge.
Hmm,
I didn't shut the top of it
I see.
to make them charge because I was too busy cleaning
You're
because
gonna
the kids are coming.
you're gonna end up in post-it note land. I can see it coming now. Like,
You
remember
mean
to
I'm gonna turn
close.
into a post-it?
No, I just that you're gonna be like me, where all over your house there are like Little Miss Sunshine or whatever that movie was with the guy with
Yeah.
Alzheimer's.
Yep.
Remember to kiss your wife today was horribly sad. Remember to tell your wife you love her today. I, who have dementia in my family, both sides, I live in fear of post-it note land. That's the part where you have to stick, and a whiteboard. You had coffee this morning. Things like that I need to know before I have the entire pot of coffee and then wonder why I can't sleep. That's another post-it note. You can't sleep because you didn't read the note about whether or not you'd had coffee. This is my fear, and I worried that you are maybe heading for post-it note land. Did you close the cover on your hearing aids to charge
Just
them?
now,
Yeah.
actually.
Okay.
So by the time the kids get up the mountain or around the mountain or however they're coming, I should be able to hear them when they speak,
Oh,
which will be
good.
good.
We had a house full of young adult children. We had a little family meeting with the small cutie where he announced that the problem with me is that I never admit that I've done anything wrong.
Oh my God.
And I had to think about that. And I'm trying to remember, first of all, when was the last time I did anything wrong?
Never admit it.
No, I
Never.
have no problem admitting that I find it's very disarming to people who can't admit they've done anything wrong ever. So I have no problem going, yeah, you know what? I screwed that up. Sorry about that. Or I just screwed that up. That happens sometimes. I
Yeah.
don't
See,
always.
well, I'll do that with anyone except for Frankie.
Oh, really?
And as he listens, yes, I
Good to
admit
know.
it readily.
Good.
He's the only one.
He's the only one. Well, good to know. So the small cutie pointed this out, and now I have to think about this whether I ever admit that I think I'm perfect. I think he's way out of line. That I make a living on all the not perfect things about me. So now, speaking of not perfect things, the big cutie, once again, I am reminded that you can raise a child in your home, and he or she or they can grow up with an entirely different idea about things like what is clean. I asked the big cutie to please set the table for dinner, and it has been a holiday with lots of things that make crumbs, like matzah, and other things that make crumbs, like walnut, date mixture things. And he sets the table without sweeping off any of the crumbs. And I come in and I see that the table is set, but that the table itself is filthy. And I say, "What? Why don't you clear the? Haven't we had this conversation where I say start with a clean table? Have we not? In all your decades now on the planet?" He says, "Well, it's just going to get crummy anyway." And I felt like saying, "Your underwear is going to get dirty anyway, but that doesn't mean you don't change it."
Well, he might turn it inside out.
I
I
don't
know that some
know.
boys do that.
I don't think so.
Okay, I have a question for
Oh,
you.
wait.
Yeah.
Then part two,
Oh,
he
there's a
just
part
he
two.
agrees to sweep off the table, sweeps it right onto the floor.
Now, would you rather have your child be a little dirty or be a serial killer?
What are those? Are those the only choices?
Yeah,
Why?
in this in the in this situation.
Why are those
Well,
my
because
only choices?
I think that there's like at least some serial killers that had nice parents, but they didn't raise their kid to be a serial killer. And here you've got your kid and you're hyper clean and you didn't raise him to be sloppy.
I'm not hyper clean. I am
You're
not.
pretty clean. I went to your house, dude, and I could have put on white gloves and not found any dust
Oh,
anywhere.
that's not true.
Where in my house, I hand out gloves that are the color of dust.
No, I don't. First of all, your house was perfectly clean when I was
Yeah.
there. I don't know how many days it took to achieve that veneer, but it was
Yes.
lovely. But I am not. I don't know why it has to be serial killer or filthy pig. I don't understand why there's nothing in the middle for me.
There's nothing in the middle. Well, maybe you could have one that's like maybe president. I don't know.
We're waiting. We don't even have one that's a doctor. That's like the
That would
old
be
joke.
so stressful.
We don't even have that. So, yeah, and I see him sweeping the crumbs onto the floor, and I'm aghast. I say to him, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Well, there are crumbs all over the floor anyway, and we'll have to vacuum them all up." And I said, "Well, maybe that works for the matzah crumbs. For those who don't know, that's a very dry cracker, which will dry up everything from your lips to the place where you ultimately process it. It's just a very difficult experience, 8 days of matzah. But the thing with the dates and the walnuts simply becomes paste upon the dining room carpet, and I don't understand how he can't differentiate, especially since he's sweeping it off, not with a damp paper towel, but with his hand, because going to get a damp paper towel would be just too much trouble. So,
well, it's like getting my boots for the mud. It's too much trouble.
no,
I can
no,
relate to you.
the boots are right by the door. He would have had to walk an entire 10 feet to the kitchen to get the paper towel off the counter.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's asking a lot.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. Now I'm backing you up for a minute. Literally.
So that's
How does matzah affect your poop?
it's a very binding substance.
Really?
So I have been given to understand. I combine it.
I've never had an issue.
Do we have to have this conversation? I will tell you this, at the Passover aisle, one of the big sections is what they now call dried plums, but which we all
Prunes.
Yeah, prunes. Yeah, right next to the matzah, big bags of prunes. So I don't have this problem because of this is way more about my digestion than any podcast listener should have to. Both of our podcast listeners
They might have questions.
turning
Come
it
on.
off right now. I think that the dates solve a lot of the problem for me, but I have heard from other people that the effects of matzah are a little bit like tying your guts in a bow. That's what
Now
I
I'm
hear.
going to have to take a survey with all 7 Jews that I know.
You could put that up there on SurveyMonkey. Do you find matzah to have a binding effect on your digestion? It would make about as much sense as half the other surveys I get. And what is the deal now? Every time you drive by your doctor's office, you get a survey questionnaire. We'd really like to do better. Could you fill out this survey questionnaire? And I'm thinking, this is customer service theater is what this is. I have no idea who reads these things, but you could put down that the physician assistant gave a Hitler salute and asked whether or not you had a reservation
read
booked to
those things.
Treblinka, and I don't think they would do anything about it. So
No.
I don't know why they're even
Okay,
asking.
so let's see. We've gone through serial killers,
Yes.
sloppy kids,
Yes.
matzah poop.
Yeah.
What else is going on in your life?
I think we're done, actually. I mean, what
Okay.
else could there be? I just enjoy your family, enjoy them, and be glad that you're not all bound up with matzah, nor are you hopping around your dining room carpet because of little sticky bits of date.
Or
And
trying to kill each other with butter knives? I don't know.
so far, no. No. And I hope that it goes well with all of the progeny. And I'm absolutely leaving it in that both the baby and the dog have giant heads.
Yes, I do.
Thanks for listening to the Turi Writers She Said What podcast. Since you've made it to the end, you might want to know that my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air, is not only available in print, but now also in complete audiobook form, narrated by me and available on Audible.